This is some of our latest work on Earthsim, the Earthsim 3 engine. I'm working on water a lot and how it affects the landscape. Here I'm adding some water onto a hill of earth. And what it's doing is it's making the earth wet, and then that earth can't support itself and it slides down further. So it's a type of erosion. It's not force-based erosion, where it's not using the velocity of the water. That's something I've yet to add. This is just making the materials wet, and that wetness is changing their self-supporting properties. So you see behind the water the mud actually collapses. The earth becomes mud and it starts sliding down. I'm pleased with it because it's leaving some quite natural sort of effects, like water holes look a little like water holes. Also here you've got the biosphere running, first version of it. So trees are seeding and they spread if they can grow on the material they're on. And time is running pretty quick. I've got that yellow bar every time on the bottom left it gets to the top. That's 1 year that's gone past in the biosphere's life cycle. There you see the water's pouring out and it's turning the earth into mud, and the mud's then collapsing. So the waves you can see under the water are the waves of the mud collapsing. And then there's waves of water on top of it. There is no mixing yet of the mud and the water. That's still coming. In future, the movement, the speed of the water will also pick up the mud and carry it. That's yet to be added. This is purely just the mud collapsing because it's getting wet. And there's the waterhole effect left at the end. And if you've got water, trees, baby trees have started growing again, they're going to die. They spend too long underwater, they die. I still need to work out what to do with trees as the ground slides down. I need to model all of their roots and have them support themselves for a while until too much mud has disappeared and then they have to collapse. It's going to be a little tricky to do well. You see all the mud collapsing and the water pouring out. Here is a pile of sand. That's the water hole left from the erosion with the sand. This is a much bigger feature. We'll pour some water on that too. So this box just specifies the size of the feature you're going to add. Added a big blob of water. And again, that's going to collapse the sand that it makes wet. Clicking to add more and more water. There you go. So it's all flowing over it and that sand is all easing down. All the sand is always alive, all the earth is always alive, it's always moving. You just don't notice it moving. That's what a lot of those little lines are there, artifacts where it's catching the shadows. I may need to increase the accuracy of the water, of the sand, so that we don't get such artifacts. There's much more water pouring out. where the sides collapsed, it keeps collapsing more and more. I'm going to add a huge amount of water here. Even more. There it goes. And now all the features of the sand are softening as it's sinking under it. So the water's moving there and the whole sand underneath is moving. So wherever it's wet, all the sand is sinking down in real time. And there's the tidal wave coming off the sand, and there's all the marks that have been left in the sand as the water's at its sink. And the water that's left at the top. Nice tidal wave. Back ripples coming off the back of the wave. Every different colour you see on the land is a different material. Here's the wave coming through the islands. Again, it's collapsing the Earth islands. And leaving these nice, more natural looking features. Just like the river banks would collapse because they've become wet.